Hey guys, Bukoid here. Hey, I'm gonna give you a video real quick. I've been talking about these CMEs that were, Earth facing coming to us, and obviously we're seeing the results here on the magnetosphere, the tools that we look at. And we got this. The second one hasn't reached Earth yet, but I think it might be a little bit stronger as far as the way that it affects our magnetosphere, just because there was a coronal hole right after it became Earth facing. So basically, it's getting an extra push, if that makes any sense. Like I said, guys, we're getting the energy from the sun direction. Okay, now you guys notice here this pressure on the backside, right? We've talked about this so much, but I'm going to continue to talk about it because it's important to understand this. That just because this pressure is back here doesn't mean that it's coming from a crazy place. Now, I will say this. I do believe that there's something behind us somewhere. Because we get these increased pressures when we're not getting increased pressure from the sun. Okay? When that happens, you have to point to something other than the sun that's causing that. And that's how I look at this. This is what I've seen. Okay? Now, like I said, we got the sun. So how does the sun give us pressure on the backside? Well, what it does is the wind comes in like this, hits our bow shock, and as it goes around here, it actually loops back around. Okay, and you see it on the top and bottom. You can look at it on this graph right here. You see the arrows on this graph? That shows direction. Okay, so like I said, guys, the sun's over here. And you can even see it right here is actually a pretty decent picture of what I'm talking about here. You can see how the pressure, if you look at the arrows, is coming this way. And if you follow the arrows, you can see it come back around, loop back around like this. Okay? You see that? If you follow the arrows, so you know that that's coming from the front side. Not to mention, like I said, the Earth itself. I don't know what the heck happened there, guys. Sorry. Yeah, I must have took a screenshot. That's what it looks like. Yeah, that's what it did. Sorry, guys. I am doing this on my phone again because my internet connection still is not good. It's faster for me to do this using mobile data. Sorry about that. I mean, as soon as I get my connection fixed, the cable company is actually working on it. So, yeah, it was taking me 4 hours or something to upload like a 15-minute video. I was like, no way, not anymore. So I just started using the mobile data. It's actually way faster than that. So something was going on with I think it had something to do with something at their end of it out at the street. The cable part of it. I think I'm kind of at the end of a line as far as where they boost it. So I think they're going to add a booster. So anyway, this right here, guys, is from the 12th. All right. Not why I got you here is this is yesterday, and it did, we see all that energy, right? This is from that CME. Now, when we get these CMEs, we got to look, because sometimes it will reveal stuff that we normally wouldn't see. Okay, we see this a lot on LASCO C2, the satellite pictures I show you guys all the time. Okay, now I'm going to zoom in a little bit here, and you can see this already happening. All right, I want you guys to pay attention right here. Okay, I'm going to zoom back out, but that's where I want you guys to watch. Okay, now what you're going to see is you're going to see a spherical object of some sort. Okay, and it doesn't move. It stays in that spot. You see the magnetics around it? Okay, you see that right there? All right. Now, this right here is just like really good proof that, man, there has to be something going on right here. Okay? And there's a whole lot of reasons. If you start analyzing this just a little bit deeper than what you normally would, you start seeing stuff that doesn't make sense unless there's something there. Okay, first thing is the red color is the highest intense pressure color on the graph. Then it toggles down to yellow and orange, or orange then yellow. then it goes to green, then the light blue, then the dark blue, and then the black, or purple black. That's the lowest amount of pressure that this graph will show. So, why does that make any bit of difference of what we're seeing here? Well, first off, you're seeing really high amount of pressure right here. Okay? Plus, you're getting an increased pressure back here. You know, if you follow those around, that makes some sort of a spherical object, right? Well, what makes this really odd, guys, is that there is a lower pressure in the middle of it. Now, if you look at these graphs any other time, okay, you're not going to see this in any other part of these graphs. Okay, when you do, you have to assume that there's something going on right there, because this doesn't happen unless there's some sort of disruption right there. All right. So basically, this is acting just like the Earth does. Okay. And what do I mean by that? Well, what I mean by that, you guys always hear me talk about the throwing the rock into the water and seeing the waves, you know, ripple out. Right. We've all done that. Most of us have done that. You know, you see the waves, just multiple waves just start rippling out from this rock, right, into the, you know, the clear lake or whatever body of water you're in. I mean, you can do an experiment if you want, and you can go to your kitchen sink and recreate the whole thing. But the Earth does this, okay? You can even see it here on this one, even on this same capture, okay? The Earth's here, and then you see rings of different disturbances, because the Earth is pushing out in all directions, not just one, okay? We got magnetics all around us. And sometimes it's stronger in certain areas than others, but it's all going around. So, and if you look in the middle, that's the lowest amount of pressure, right? Right here where the Earth's at. See, it's black even. Okay, now black's there just to show, just ignore that part. That black's there just to show specific area. That size never changes on this graph. But if you notice, the darker blues are in the middle, right? And then the other colors start happening as it increases pressure. Okay? So in order to get a low pressure that is surrounded by higher pressure, it would make sense that there has to be something here. Okay? Now, this could be something very small, and most likely it is. And I'm not claiming that there's an object here. I'm just saying there is a magnetic disruption being caused right here from something. Okay? You know, I don't know if it's even possible that we have an object of any size that close to the Earth, number one, without us seeing it, unless, you know, they've got their cloaking devices and their, you know, their lens arrays and everything really up to par. But it just, you know, if something was that big, that close to the Earth, I would think we would be having massive amounts of issues. You know, we are seeing some stuff, guys, and it's getting more and more intense. Weather, that's the first thing. Everybody can just go outside and look. That is definitely an uptick. You know, if you look at the windy map, there's a satellite that you got. Well, it's a model used by weather forecasters. But right now it's in the extreme in about half of the United States and part of northern Mexico. Okay? You look at the rest of the world, it's not even close. But that's just here. Okay? But that is extreme. That is something that very seldom happens. It's not unheard of. Okay, guys? But it is an uptick. Those kinds of events are happening more and more, and I think we can see it, because we are coming into regular tornado season and all those kinds of things. But what we're looking at is more intense issues and more frequent issues. Okay? But back to this. Now, I hope you guys understand that, like I said, if you get lower pressure surrounded by more pressure, that is indication of, I guess it's indication of something there. I don't want to call it some big object, because I'm not trying to do that, because of, you know, I can't say that for sure. But all I'm saying is there's a disruption right there. And it's definitely something to look at. Okay, and this is another thing, guys. Watch. See how it stays there? It doesn't move. even when, like right here, guys, even when this is exactly how the Earth acts, you know. And what I'm saying is, even when the pressure around it drops, the pressure that's in the middle is dropping also. So that's even more, indication that there might be something there. And for something to be like, have a hole like that, or be that shape, I mean, look at this thing. It almost like it has depth. I mean, can you guys see that? I hope you guys can see that, because this just does not look normal to me. I mean, it even pushes out up against the Earth's pressure. You can see it. So I don't know what is going on with this, and I'm having a hard time understanding or figuring this out. And the thing of it is, I'm also going to point this out, and I've been noticing this too. Do you see this right here? Okay. Now, if you guys go over to Planet X News and check out Scott's latest live stream he did, you guys should check out that picture he showed. Okay. I've got it. I'm not going to show it because I want everybody to go over there and watch it on his channel. But you guys really should go check it out. It is one of the most, I don't know, it kind of shocked me. It took me aback. I wasn't expecting to see what I seen. It's complete grid system in the sky. There's cubes. There's the sun is there, and then it's completely, utterly dark above where the sun's supposed to be. And these are unfiltered pictures. Plus, the sun is square. Okay, whatever, right? You guys have to go check that out over there. You really should. It's it is probably one of the most convincing pictures of them trying to hide stuff that I've ever seen. Yeah. I mean, it's really all I can say about that, because honestly, he sent that picture over to me, and I started putting some filters and stuff on it, and I actually was able to see other stuff, and I know he did the same, but he wanted everybody to see the unfiltered picture because it's enough. It really is. Yeah. Anyway, you guys should go check that out. But like I said, guys, you're seeing this. I'm seeing these grids kind of start showing up everywhere. Even in, like I said, even in our atmosphere. We go outside and we can, I don't think he's seen that stuff with his naked eye. His camera caught it, I think, is what happened. But it doesn't matter. It's still there. And it's not camera anomalies, guys. What he shows, you guys just have to go check it out. I really can't even explain it with just words. You really need to have to see the picture. And again, maybe I'll flash the picture here at the end. But I would really like, he gives a lot better explanation of what he's seeing. He's the one that actually took the picture. So, but anyway, back to this, guys. You seeing that, and it's staying in the same spot. Okay. Just look at that. And then, obviously, we're going to see some disruptions. This is what I mean about the rock in the pond analogy. Okay, this is a real good indication of what I'm talking about. Okay, because you're seeing the exact same thing out in front. So energy is getting pushed out in all directions. Okay, so when we see, like I just showed you a minute ago, when we see that anomaly right there, we have to assume that that's what's happening there too, because there's higher energy around it. If that was just going from high to low energy, that's one thing. But for that to do a complete circle like it's going around an object, that's a whole nother thing that we need to look at. Okay? And I know I spent a lot of time on this, but, you can even see, like, this right there. Look at that. Okay, I noticed this too. See this? We see this out front sometimes also. Not to mention that, and I don't know why this does this, but if you guys ever look at this tool, and I've mentioned this before, it almost does a hexagonal shape almost all the time. So I don't know what the deal is with that. Heck, you guys can even see it right here. It's doing it right now. It's just real light. You can't hardly see it. But other times it's like in your face. But yeah. So, let's take more look at this. We'll keep an eye on this part of it, guys. I do want to take you over to seeds and show you what's going on right now. And again, guys, this is a current picture of our magnetosphere. I'll just toggle through this real quick. And what's odd, you know, that I showed you guys that there on that other graph, but look, it's doing it here too. So it's not just on one tool. Now this this is the same data it's using, but it's not a tool defect because this is actually a different tool. Same data, different tool. It's giving us a different representation visually, is what I'm trying to say. But if you look here, you can even see, well, not that spot exactly. It's kind of like right in there, I guess. But we'll zoom in a little bit, and we'll see if we can't see it a little better. But yeah, I mean, you see that right there? It's kind of staying in the same spot. But anyway, you see all these other things coming. But if you notice, if you look out to the right, you'll see the orange start way out to the right and then move to the left. Okay, that's that energy coming from the sun. That's how we know. All right. Now, I'm going to go over here to seeds real quick. Yeah, we're getting CMEs like every day now, guys. Here's on the this is the 12th. We'll just stop it right there. Okay, look out here to the left. Okay, that's what this thing does. It detects CMEs. Now, these are not big. I can't even tell you if they're earth facing. I don't know. For it to be earth facing on this particular tool, it would have to be shooting off this direction. Okay, in which we do see, but we can't say even definite. Then we have to go look at the SDO and the other cameras that look directly at the sun to kind of determine direction. But yeah, I mean, you see that right there. Okay, we'll go to the next day. This is today. All right, look at this. I mean, it's every day. I mean, it's not even. I mean, we're seeing something every day. And let's just go back to this, and I'll take you over to the core 2, which is this is the one from the 12th. It was yesterday. See that one off to the right? That's what made me think maybe that this was coming, you know, earth facing, and this could be. I actually went over and checked out Ben's at Suspicious Observer to check out his channel to see if he picked up on it, and he didn't mention any of this. Matter of fact, he said that it was pretty quiet. Well, this right here isn't quiet. and again, guys, I don't. It's not huge or anything by no means, but this is definitely something that. I mean, you can see it. That's visual. I mean, you can see that. Something else I'm going to point out right here real quick while I got you here at this particular tool. If you guys look over here, you'll see what looks to be a light or some sort of object coming out from behind the sun. Let's just okay, we'll go on a little further here. And you'll be able to see it. Now you can see the explosion there coming off the sun. But right here, that shows it pretty good. You see this right here? It's pixelated because this is digital. But that is Jupiter, guys. Okay, we seen it come in from this side. We watched it travel. It went behind the sun. And then came out the other side. We just couldn't see it till now because it was inside of that solar stream right there. Okay, but yeah, we'll go on to the next day here. Next day, and you can see it really well there. Okay, now we're seeing, you know, it looks like that one on the left, that CME that blew off the backside of the sun there, looks like it really took off real fast. Well, it's not the case. Okay, this is what I mean, guys. We have to check our timestamps. Daggone it. Okay, let's go back to here. How about that? Let's do this. Hit next. How about that? Okay, anyway. We're just going to go next. Okay. Now, see, there's when it started. See it right there? And then if you go over here to the left, you can see how it's increasing in anomaly here. And again, guys, here's Jupiter. Okay. So, go next again. Actually, let's just stop. Okay, now I'm going to back it up. It's easier that way. Okay. Now, Now see that, look at the timestamp. This is why we look at the timestamp. This is showing the CME. The blue is the leading edge. The red is around it tries to form around the edges of the CME so you can kind of see where it's at. But look at the timestamp, guys. It says 2:54, right? UTC. The next time we see is 8:24. Okay, so that's 4.5 hours later. So that's why it looks like it jumps. So if you guys ever see it jumping like that, the first thing, don't assume that it's going real fast. Go look at your timestamp first, okay? Which is a good practice anyway, just so you have a better idea of what you're looking at and how long something's there at last or how long something took to take place. But yeah, I think I am, okay. So here's another thing I want you guys to look at real quick. Let's back out of this, okay? This is the seed site, okay? And I show you guys this. I go here all the time. It shows LASCO and Core 2. All right, they're on two different satellites, I believe. I think the LASCO C2, I think, is on SOHO. Could be wrong. I have to look. But I know the Core 2 is on Stereo A. Okay. Now, like I said, this detects CMEs. That's what this tool's for. It takes the same imaging and the same data, but this particular site actually tries to detect CMEs when it happens. And what it does is it puts it into a list. You see this list? This is the LASCO C2. All these things on the left, it dates them, and then it puts how many frames it was seeing the anomaly, right? So you got all you have to do to look at it, and you look at the date, okay? Look at all these it's seeing on the C2, just in the past 4 or 5 days. Okay, that goes back to the 28th, but what I want you to understand is look at this. From the 1st to the 8th, you didn't really see a whole lot. And then all of a sudden, 8, 9, 10, no, 10's not there, 12, 13, okay? And this doesn't catch them all, okay? And sometimes it even catches stuff that's really not there. So you just got to pay attention. But it does the same thing for Core 2, okay? Now, I'm going to point something out here real quick. You know, it does color code it too if it thinks it's a bigger or stronger one. And we had a decent sized one that blew off the backside of the sun on the 5th. But look at this. 5th, 6th, 6th, and then 12th. Okay, that's almost a week. Now, if you guys, sometimes that's true, sometimes it's legit, and other times it's like, no, it's not. That's not what happened. Well, if you go up here and you look at the date, anything, do you see the colors of the A's and the B's? Okay, so on the 10th, we have no data. On the 11th, we have no data. And we got data back on the 12th. What happened on the 9th? You guys remember? Okay, let's go look at the 9th. This is that first Earth-facing CME. Okay? Is that starting to make sense now, what I'm trying to say? Okay, we have this CME Earth-facing, and then all of a sudden we get no data. What's going on with that? You know, now then we start looking over here. So what we'll do is we'll look at the 10th on the LASCO C2 and see if we see anything. Whoa, look at there. Okay, yeah, we had a CME. At least the butt end of one. Okay, it's on the left-hand side. Obviously, that's... Whenever you guys see those gray boxes there, too, a lot of times that's just a bright flash into the data, I guess. It just shows it as gray. I don't know why it does that, but it does. Now, then we'll go to the next day because the 11th didn't show up on Core 2 either. Or either, however you want to say that. But, yeah. I mean, there wasn't I think we had a CME on the 11th also. See that flash? Remember I told you whenever you see that flash, start looking before and after. Okay? And I think we get a CME here in just a second. I'm pretty sure we do. Well, maybe not. Okay? Then we look at the timestamp and we see how many hours we're actually getting data for. Okay? We actually got data pretty much that whole day. And again, what happened with when those flashes happened? Because this was interesting also. This really kind of... This was one of those like, what was that, and why did it do that? And I'm going to show you here in just about 2 seconds here. I'm going to let this toggle through a little bit, and we'll do that right there. Okay, let me go previous. Now see this black over here? Alright, that's what that did. We'll go back to the previous shot of that. Okay, now what am I talking about? Okay, guys, what I'm talking about, guys, is this. You see the dark areas? Alright. Now I know I'm talking a lot here, but I really got a lot to share here. I want you guys to get this, okay? Now, I'm toggling forward. This is back on the 11th, okay? A couple days ago. Black, and then it goes back to normal, right? Well, like I said, watch these black areas over here. Really kind of ignore what's going on the left, because it really doesn't matter right here. Get that big white flash, okay? This is the same exact timestamp, okay? Now watch. Let me get to the right spot. Okay, you guys see what just happened on the right? Okay, it was completely black there and there. Okay, now I'm going to go back to the previous image. That's at 11:36. Okay, you guys see how dark that is? Alright, and then in 12 minutes, those dark areas are gone. Okay, at first I thought it jumped in time like I was explaining to you a minute ago. Okay, but it didn't. Alright, I mean it just didn't. And it doesn't go back dark there either. So what happened there? Okay, why was it dark there? This is supposed to be part of our visible light spectrum over here. I know it's still just data getting put into a model, but it still, in my opinion, shouldn't show that and then that, like that. How does that happen on both sides of the sun at the same time? Because if you look at the other light and the artifacts on this one, okay, you know, like all this light and all this light, it doesn't change, guys. The only thing that changes is here and here. Okay, where the dark areas are. Okay, you see that? And then it did change a little there because I did see that before. I forgot to mention it, but it's almost like it got a shadow right here too. It's like something moved, and I don't know if it is part of the camera problem here or if that's actually, you know, because see how bright it is right there just below that dark area. And watch when I go to the next time. Next to the stamp here, look, boom. Okay, and it kind of does it on the other side there too, just not to that extreme. So what is causing that? Because this is out in front of the occulter. This is most likely happening between the occulter and the sun. What's the occulter? It's that disk that blocks the biggest part of light from the sun. So, you know, what do we do there, right? Well, again, there's a lot of stuff here that I got a lot of information I really want to show you guys. Let's just do this real quick. I'm going to go to location. I've shown you guys how to do this before. I'm doing this on Google on purpose so you guys can see how to get there. Location of, let's just go stereo A, which is the satellite that we normally look at. Okay, go. I'll do a little Google search here, and then obviously I've been here, so that's why it's highlighted in purple. You just click on that, guys, and it takes you right and gives you a map of the current location of our inner solar system of these objects. Okay, what we're looking at, here's the stereo A. Here's stereo B. Supposedly B ain't given no information, no data back. Has been like that. They're claiming like that for years now. Okay, so you can kind of just, even if we're getting data from that, they're not letting us see it. Earth is here, obviously. Sun's in the middle, okay? Now, we got Venus right here, right? And I'm going to explain something real quick, okay? Remember the occulter I just said, that disk? It's actually back here attached to this satellite, guys. Okay? So anything that happens between that occulter and the sun that this satellite is seeing is going to look exactly like anything that is behind the sun. It's going to be black, so we can't tell if it's in front or behind. That's my whole point here, okay? I see so many people talking about these objects that supposedly are marching right at the sun, like what we're seeing, because it's a two-dimensional picture, and everybody always says it's behind the sun. That's not always the case. Okay, remember I just showed you guys Jupiter? Jupiter would be way out here, right? And it's moving this way. Well, it is actually behind the sun. But sometimes, let me show you something real quick. Okay, right now we got the field of view is probably about like this. Okay, and again, I've explained this before too, but if you extend those on out, you see how much wider it gets, so we see a lot more area further out. But here's Venus, right? It circles around the sun. Well, it kind of spirals. We're all, whatever, I'm not going to go on that subject, but Venus follows its orbit around the sun. Okay, so it looks like it's behind the sun right now, and it's exactly what it looks like on the LASCO, or the Core 2 is where it's showing it, okay? So if we follow Venus around its orbit, okay, right here, the satellite will lose sight of it. It goes off its field of view, all right, and it comes back around. Well, here's its field of view again. Okay, when it gets back over here and it starts seeing it again, remember the occulter is here. So when this gets obfuscated, it's going to look like it's traveling right at the sun because it's coming in from that angle. Now it's going to be a little bit bigger here than it would be here, but it still gets blacked out. And then when it pops out again in its orbit, it's going to see it again, right? So it, in a two-dimensional way of thinking, yes, it looks like everything we see is going behind the sun. All right? But that's not the case. Okay? A lot of times what we're seeing is actually stuff traveling, in this area. Okay? Now, it all depends on the direction stuff's traveling, and a lot of times, I guess you could probably say about 50% of the time, maybe a little bit more because we see more as we get further out, that it is actually behind the sun, but there are times it's actually in front. So I want you guys to understand that. And it's not real important right now, but I just wanted to correct that because it does come into play sometimes. And something else, you got to notice here that Mercury is not even in its field of view. That's why we don't see it. So when Mercury gets back over to here, we'll see it. It'll come back around. I'm not sure. I think Mercury might go retrograde. I can't remember. It might actually be traveling now. I don't know. I have to check into that. I should know that, but I don't. Okay, and then here's another thing, guys. And I know I got you here for a while, and I'm sorry, but this stuff is really bothering me that we're not understanding this. I've tried to explain it, and obviously I haven't explained it enough. Let's just exit out of that real quick. Close all. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, guys, I'm going to take you over to planetxnews.org, and we're going to go look at the SDO. Okay, it's easy to go here, guys, and get the links, and I talk about this a lot, this site right here. Scott has not asked me to do that. I just simply tell you guys that because it's actually what I do. I think it's very, very easy to go this direction. I've told you I go to Mr. MBB3's channel to look at the Schumann resonance because he has a link for that. Okay, that's why I do those things. And if I see something positive, I'm going to relay it. But anyway, SDO. Okay, this is the current picture from the SDO. All right, now why am I here? Well, reason being is click where is SDO. Okay, it tells you, it shows you. Okay, now this is what I want to show you guys. All right, this is the SDO. This is an actual, I think it's a real time how it's traveling. Okay, well, there's a timestamp down here. It shows you. Okay, I think that might be actually a location. Now, you've seen that light. What that is, I think that's sunlight. So, anyway, Guys, you see the shape it's making? This is how it actually moves in space. It's making a figure 8. Okay, and I've heard a lot of people talking about this eclipse that just happened from the SDO. We're in the eclipse season, right? We know that, so we're going to see eclipses. But I've heard people talk about, you got the sun here. Okay, the Earth is, we're just going to call it, I guess, over here. Then you got the SDO that travels with the Earth, but it's making this figure 8 pattern, and it stays with the Earth the whole time, always looking at the sun. Okay, so it's over here with the Earth, and it's looking at the sun. Well, then you got to factor in the moon. Okay, the moon's traveling at a different speed than what this satellite is. So the moon's moving around the Earth, right? Well, when the moon gets in a specific position, it will go between this satellite and the sun. Okay? So that causes it to look like an eclipse. Now, we talk about how these eclipses look like they're moving in different directions. Okay, and I hope you guys understand where I'm going with this. This figure 8 is Y. Okay? So if the moon's here, SDO's there, sun's here. Well, when the SDO gets down to here, at the correct time, has to be good timing here. I know it's weird, but it eclipses at, looks like it's coming in from the top. Well, when it makes this loop around, if the moon is still down here, it's going to look like it's moving the other direction, because this thing is doing a figure 8. Okay? That's why. So when you see an eclipse from the sun coming from this direction, and then the next eclipse you see will come from either that direction or whatever opposite direction, looks like it's not possible. Well, this is what makes it possible. Okay? And it's also why we've seen that funky eclipse the other day, that it, here's the sun. Well, it got eclipsed, and the moon, it actually looked like the moon stopped like right there and went back the other direction. Okay? Look at the figure 8. Does it make sense now? Well, if it was over here, when that happened, the SDO was probably right here in its orbit, and it started going the other direction, and that's why it looked like it stopped and moved. This figure 8 is the reason why all that stuff happens. Okay? It's all visual. It's all about perspective. And I just wanted to share that real quick, okay, guys? I mean, I know it's not something that is a huge deal for a lot of people, but a lot of people will make those different directional things mean a whole lot of different things, and they're not. It's simply, that's what it is. That's how this happens. It's justifiable. And this goes back to Marf's point the other day about how we have to vet our people that we talk to and the information that we get. Okay? But there are still those out there that are very smart and are still actually truly trying to help. They're few and far between, but we can't just discount somebody that has all that knowledge, and we can't just assume that they are trying to be deceiving or whatever. But I will say this again too, that a lot of times that is the truth. They're trying to be deceiving. Okay? So that's why this is such a hard line to walk. And yes, sometimes we get it wrong. Okay? But sometimes we get it right. And that's just where we have to be with it. So I'm going to take you over to Sechi real quick. I noticed some stuff over here on Sechi that I didn't particularly care to see. This is something I've been watching for a minute now. I didn't really know how to bring this to people's attention or if it even meant anything. We're going to go to, well, let's just start with the 10th. 10th of March. Okay, this is the HI1, guys. Okay, can you guys see this? Okay, there's like a shadow area. Alright, now this could be a camera thing. It really could. Okay, because you even see kind of a faded line going up. Now you don't see a faded line coming down. Doesn't mean it's not there, but you guys see that? Alright. It just doesn't, that does not seem normal to me. I've not seen this before on this. This is why I'm saying it. And if you really look at this, guys, Remember the hole I was telling you about in the magnetosphere, the sphere at the beginning of this video? You know, you got like your main area of darkness, but if you look at this thing, it's actually a different color even out that far. Okay, you see that now? I know it's kind of hard to see, but it's there. It's what it is. This should not do this. Okay, this is a camera anomaly, okay, whatever. But the reason why I don't think that it is, zoom in even further, is because, you know, you got your dark areas, right? Well, why is this one going over top of that? If this was a camera anomaly, this whole area should be that color. Okay, at least in my opinion. So I don't know what's causing this. And you can even see the shaded area even out that far. See how it's shaded, 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 you know, all the way out here. And then it gets right back to its original brightness right there. In my mind, the only way that that can happen is if there's something there. You know, unless it is a camera thing. I don't know. I can't say 100%. But you can even see it kind of, oops. Hey, we just went for a ride. Right in there even. See how it's kind of an odd shape? Alright, well, I just wanted to bring that to you and show you that. Now I'm going to take you to the most current that we can see on the Setchi here, which I believe is on the 11th. Let's see if it lets us see the 11th. Nope. So we'll go back and we'll look at one before. That was the most current one we could see. I just showed you a second ago there. Let's go back to the 8th. A couple days before. I just want to show you that it's still there. Alright, but something else I'm noticing, see that? How much brighter that is, and it's some sort of shape. Okay, it's almost like something is hitting something here and kind of reflecting it around. Well, I guess, I mean, I haven't done this yet, but theoretically, I guess it could be one of those objects we see sometimes that look like this. You know, kind of the Ezekiel wheel type of thing. We've seen those things on these satellites before. Now I'm going to take you to today. Well, the most recent capture. But I'm going to take you to it over here on the HI-1. Which is what I just showed you. But this is the black and white one I show you guys all the time. Because it shows quite a bit of stuff. It's easy to see. Now this is showing the CME. Okay, that's why that's making that. Now, there's something else I'm going to point out here real quick. This is why I think something's going on here. Okay, I'm going to reverse this. Okay, you see that? Obviously, that's a CME. Okay, guys? It's a pretty small one. And like I said, that's pretty much what we were looking at anyway. Alright, now, what I want you guys to look at, the area I want you to look at is right here. Which would be roughly that same area I just showed you on the red colored view. Okay? Watch that area. Oops, let's go back forward. Okay, again, it's right in here. See that? Right here? And why I even caught it with my eyes, because it goes away. See that? There to there. Alright? So, you know, I don't know. This is something I've seen. And again, this is the most recent we can get to right now. But anyway, guys, I am going to end it here. I know I've had you here for a while, but I hope you guys got something out of this, and I will keep you guys updated on what's going on with the CME situation and all of that. I haven't looked at the Core 2 on the 11s. Let's do that real quick, guys. I know, again, sorry. It's saying we can see the 11th, so let's go look at it. Alright, yeah, you see all that? Okay. What is that? Guys, I haven't seen this before, so I'm going to stop it right there where that anomaly is happening. You guys will get to see what I do and how I look at this stuff. Let's reverse it. Okay. That is crazy odd. Just saying. I have never seen that before. Wow. Okay. Yeah. What the heck, man? What is that? I have to do some research on that one, guys. Let's just go back forward and we'll see if it... Yeah, it's only there for one capture. Let's play it and see if we see anything else. And look, guys, we're only getting... See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what ticks me off. Let's stop it. Watch the timestamp. Watch this. We're only getting like freaking 3 hours of information. See that? 3 hours of stuff. What else would we see if we seen others? Well, let's find out. Let's go look at this one. Okay. Yeah. And this is where I don't think that these are camera anomalies, because if this was, this one really should be showing it also if it was a tool malfunction. But we're not seeing it. Okay? Because this is supposedly the same exact data. Okay. Now, something I did see was that. This comes into play in a second too, I would imagine. I haven't seen this yet. But, yeah, let's look at it. Now, I just showed you the blue one, right? Well, there's a second blue one, guys. These are at different timestamps. Okay, it's the same satellite, but it actually has a slightly different time lapse that it uses. So we get to see a little bit extra of, a little bit different, I should say, imaging. Okay, and again, it's only showing 3 hours of data. Wow. And again, remember I said that was Jupiter? Well, that right there just kind of proves that. And again, guys, you know, I haven't looked at this yet for the 11th. Yeah, but I did see something else too that I'm going to show you real quick. And like I said, I know this is a longer show, but it is what it is. Okay. This is what I wanted to show you. Okay, first I'm going to show you this one. This is the first one that I seen and noticed. Okay. What am I looking at? Well, there's this little dot up here, right? Well, when you zoom in, you start seeing stuff. Okay. You see how you get a faded area there, there, and there. Okay, keep in mind that shape right there. Okay. Now I'm going to go to the zoomed in part. There it is. Okay. And then I seen this. This was the very next capture, which was like half hour or something. Well, let's go look. 1524, 1536. Wow. Okay. That's like, it's like 12 minutes. Okay. Well, what am I looking at? Well, I'm looking at that. Okay. Again, I've never seen this before. And looking at this, guys, wow, maybe I just put something together here. Let's go look at it over here because I already zoomed it in. Do you see the missing areas? Okay. And this is on, I believe this is Core 2. Yeah, it's Core, is it Core 2 or Lasco? This is the Lasco. Okay, this is the Lasco. This isn't Core 2. All right, but I'm going to take you, remember this object right here, guys. Remember the shape of that. I need to put a side-by-side up real quick. But we're going to go back to Setchi just for a second. I didn't take a screenshot, and I should have. We'll go back to the Core 2 here. I believe that was on the 11th, right? Okay, it was 9:03:11. Then go. Okay. Now, we're going to try to stop that. It's not going to be hard because there's only 3 hours of data. Oh, goodness. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Is that kind of maybe the same kind of thing? I know it's kind of split there, but is this maybe the same? I don't know. But I just wanted to show you that. Now, I'm going to flash you guys that picture that Scott used in his previous video. Please go look at this yourself. Okay? Yeah. Look at this. I mean, wow. That's all I can say. I just have never. And when I'm talking about dark above the sun, look at that. Square. Then you got all these grids, okay? So guys, go look at his info on this. That was from downloads. I actually put these in some filters, okay, and I did this to it, obviously. Why is that dark like that? You know, then I put this on a filter. Guys, this is something you wouldn't see unless I put a filter on it. Okay, you can see, you know, it's cubed. But this is my opinion. Alright, now, like I said, I put those on filters. But yeah, go check out Scott's in-depth analysis of this, okay? I imagine he'll probably do more on this. But this is one of those things that are like demonstrative proof that they're doing something up there. Okay? But anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it at that. God bless. Yeshua saves, and you can drink this Kool-Aid.